Hello everyone. We're going to be start off with a little demo reel. This is a compilation of a bunch of student shorts from I think there's over 200 shorts on our YouTube channel. So here's a little compilation. A good number of them are, how do you turn that off? Please. A good number of them are actually from last semesters. So we tried to like include the previous semester shorts in our demo reel. We have new ones like every year. So if you want to like go back a couple years and that type of thing. Yeah. Off the lights here.
See me driving down the street. I'm bored with looking good. I got both hands off the wheel. The cops are coming. I'm listening to the music with no fear. You can hear it too if you're sincere. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. I see you stagger in the street, and you can't stay on your feet, and you're faking in your sleep. You wish that you were deep. You can't hear me laughing to myself. If you could, you would be someone else. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Well, I'm a punk rocker, yes I am.
On the back light. All right. How fun, how fun. How do I use this? There we go. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to UCBUGG 3D modeling and animation. There will be a demo portion at the end of this where we'll be explaining how to do your application to join the decal. So please have Maya 2024 installed and downloaded. If you are a student, you should be able to get it for free. If you need help installing the software, you can reach out to any of us. We can help you install it. There should be a link on the Discord if you don't know where to go to get the license and that type of thing. But we'll explain a bit more about it when we get to it later. All right. So a little bit about us. UC Bug stands for the UC Berkeley Undergraduate Graphics Group. Some of you might have been like, UC Bug, is that about like bugs and insects and that type of thing? Unfortunately, that's the Etymology Association, which I have no personal connection with, but we sound kind of similar, I suppose. This is an introductory computer animation and 3D modeling course. This was actually founded in 2001. So we're over like 24 years old now, which is crazy, right? Our faculty advisor, Dan Garcia, if any of your CS majors, you might know him. He actually says that I think we're the oldest decal on campus. So if anyone says that they're older than us, they're lying. So yeah, 2001, very, very old. It's like it's older than me. Yeah. pretty crazy. And also, if you're worried, like, oh, I'm not an art major or like whatever, like, can I still be here? We love interdisciplinary collaboration. We have people come from all majors, sort of like come over here. I think we have like cognitive science, we have conservation majors. I'm EECS, lots of CS majors. But yeah, there's like wide variety of like people from different majors coming in to just sort of explore their passion. So all majors are welcome. Don't be like, oh, I'm like majoring in something completely unrelated. Can I still be here? Yes, you can. All right, so here is a little like mosaic collage of a bunch of past shorts. You can see just the sheer wide variety of all the shorts that have been made. Just like a very small snippet here. If you're wondering, like, okay, well, what can I do like beyond UC Bug? Like, is there any opportunities after this, right? We have a lot of alumni who have taken UC Bug, who have gone to work on Pixar and at Blizzard. I don't know if you've seen the recent Pixar movie Elio, but one of our past facilitators actually interned there and worked on Elio, and like her name was like on the credits and that type of thing. We had Rebecca, if you heard me talking about her, she was actually at DreamWorks interning and worked on their like rendering software, that type of thing. We have a couple people who are actively working in Blizzard, that type of thing. Very cool. This is Studio Moles, a bunch of alumni sort of like banded together and made their own animation studio, and they're like, making short films again and that type of thing. It's very cool. So if you're wondering like, okay, can I still like explore UC Bug after this? Like, what opportunities can this sort of like lead me into? Here are some of them. This is one of their recent published shorts. I think it's pretty cute. Yeah. So there's that. Okay, on to the actual course info now. So we offer two course options, either the basic section or the advanced section. Both courses are 3 units, pass no pass. Unfortunately, 3 units is the most units we can give, and also we cannot give any units less than 3 units. So it has to be exactly 3 units. And class meets either Monday or Wednesday. So we offer two sections. You get to pick one or the other. From 7 to 9 p.m. in this room, so to 3:30. Our faculty advisor is Dan Garcia. Oh, by the way, if anyone has any questions or anything, feel free to just like interrupt and be like, I have a question. Okay, cool. So a little introductions. Francis, do you want to go first?
Cool. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Francis. I'm the head facilitator for UCBUGG. I became head facilitator around last year in the fall. I've been teaching this decal for this is, I think, my fifth semester or sixth semester. It's around there. I've been teaching this since my sophomore year. I took this class all the way back in my freshman year, and I enjoyed it a lot. So I hope all of you guys decide to take this class. Um, I guess I'm an applied math major in my senior year, and my favorite part of the pipeline for UC Bug is rigging, and I think everyone hates me for that. But yeah,
Is Lynn here? No, right? I don't think he's here. I mean, Gabe was just here.
Gabe just went to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well, when he gets back, we'll put him on the spot. Genesis is not here. Hi, this is me. I'm Han. I'm a third year majoring in EECS. This will be my third semester officially facilitating. Very cool. I took this class when I was a freshman, so it was like the first class that I took when I entered Berkeley, and I was like, oh, I want to do 3D and that type of thing. But then I was like, I need someone to like actually force me to do work, otherwise I'm not learning on my own. So it might be relatable to a couple of you. But now I've really grown to love it, so it's really fun. My favorite part of the animation pipeline is hard surface modeling or shading. So we'll get into it in a little bit. Gabe.
Hello, I'm Gabe. I am a super senior, double majoring in conservation resource studies and data science. My favorite part of the pipeline is animation. This is my, I think, sixth semester teaching. Sixth semester teaching. So yeah.
Okay. I'm Travis. I am a second year CS major. This will be my first semester facilitating UCBUGG, but I was previously taking this class back in fall of 2024.
Is yeah.
Sorry. Favorite animation, favorite part of the pipeline has to be animating.
Is Miri here?
I don't think anyone else is here.
Is Joyce here? No? Okay, okay,
One
just us.
person's coming.
We have a good number of other people, so if you see them around, say hi, that type of thing.
They'll be
Um,
here in class.
You'll see them eventually, whether you like to or not. Yeah. Okay. So what is 3D modeling and animation? I'll go through a brief overview of the pipeline, so all the things that you'll be involved in. Um, Here's a little like picture demographic here. So this right here is called storyboarding, or like, using character sheets and that type of thing. So a lot of concept art. So, if any of you are like 2D artists or like concept artists, you might be familiar with this part of the pipeline. But it's really important to sort of like establish the vision of what you go in, because 3D is like huge and intensive. And imagine you're like through your short and you're like, wait, I actually don't like what I'm doing, right? And then you have to restart over, right? So storyboarding is there to just get your ideas. Done. So this is like the modeling pipeline here, where like you can, you block out your characters, you sort of like turn these 2D images into 3D objects, right? Very, very cool. A lot of people like modeling. Over here, this is shading, so basically giving things color, right? Like here, this is just like a flat blue, sort of like grayish scene, right? How do you actually give it color? How do you sort of determine whether it interacts with light or not? This is shading, also my favorite part of the pipeline. Um, and then this right here is sort of like a representation on like sort of like more rating processes or that type of thing, where it basically you're like, okay, well, I have this like mesh, this like 3D object. How do I get it to move, right? So you're building the skeleton and the joints, and this is a bit more technical. And then you have sort of like the animation stuff over here, which is like, whoa, you're actually like animating, right? It's like you're making it move and like doing lighting and all these like film and rendering and that type of thing. Very, very cool. In this class, we go through all stages of the pipeline to give you a bit more sort of like, okay, what is the actual difference between the different parts? This is a little short segment by Pixar on the Ratatouille film, and you can see just like how it evolves from like each stage of the pipeline onwards and like what changes and that type of thing. It'll give you a pretty good and rough idea of like what you'll be doing in this class.
What is this? Keep your station clear. When the mirrors comes, what will happen? Messy station, slow ticks down. Food doesn't go, orders pile up. Disaster. I'll make this easy to remember. Keep your station clear, or I will kill you. Ugh, your sleeves look like you threw up on them. Keep your hands and arms in, close to the body, like this, see? Always return to this position. Cook smooth, fast, sharp utensils, hot metal. Keep your arms in. You will minimize cuts and burns and keep your sleeves clean. Mark of a chef. Messy apron, clean sleeves. I know the Gusto style code. In every dish, Chef Gusto always has something unexpected. I will show you. I memorized all his recipes.
Always do something unexpected.
No, follow the recipe.
But you just said.
No. It was his job to be unexpected. It is our job to follow the recipe. How do you tell a good bread is without tasting it? Not the smell, not the look, but the sound, the crust, the sound. Oh, a symphony of crackle. Only great bread sold this way. The only way to get the best produce is to have first pick of the day. And there are only two ways to get first pick. Grow it yourself or bribe a grower. Voila! The best restaurant, get first pick. People think haute cuisine is snooty. So Chef Massas will be snooty. But not so. Hello there. Went away from home at 12. Got hired by circus people as an apple buyer. And then he get fired for messing around with the ringmaster's daughter. Horst has done time.
What for?
No one know for sure. He changes the story every time you ask him.
I defrauded a major corporation. I robbed the second largest bank in France using only a ballpoint pen. I created a hole in the ozone over Avignon. I killed a man with this thumb.
Don't ever play cards with Pompidou. He's been banned from Las Vegas and Monte Carlo. LaRousse ran gun for the resistance.
Which resistance?
He won't say. Apparently they didn't win. So you see, we are Artist, pirate, what a cooks are we?
We?
We, you are one of us now, we?
We. Thank you, by the way, for all the advice about cooking.
Thank you too,
For what?
for taking it.
Yeah, intellects.
Well,
Yeah, very, very cool. It's sort of like sort of see this like really rough and kind of like janky process in the beginning, and then overall it gets refined over and over again. Very, very cool. So here, this is a screenshot from our website. Our website has everything. Oh, hi Mary. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, fourth year computer science students. This is my first year facilitating. Um, my favorite part of the modeling process, or the 3D process is UV mapping.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, this is a screenshot from the website here. Basically you start all the way at the top left here, introduction to Maya, and you get into pre-production, which is where like all like the storyboarding and all the 2D stuff is, and then you get into modeling, and these sort of like happen simultaneously, and like see with the lines and that type of thing, where you get to shading, which is like giving things color, and lighting, which is like getting the lights in there is pretty self-explanatory. Right, and rigging, which is like, you're putting the skeletons and the joints and the bones and the animating. We don't touch too much on effects, but we do have some like effects homework. If you want to do for extra credit, that type of thing. It's there. And then you finally get to post-production, which is basically putting it all together, making a final MP4, like getting your color correcting, that type of stuff in. Which we also don't go into too much, but because at the time, this is like end of semester. And then you'll like do a presentation, like do a whole like showcase, that type of thing. So like you go through the entirety of the pipeline. If you're ever curious on our homeworks are on that type of thing, it is on the websites. And it's all publicly available. So yeah. Do we want to show the
I think there's a slide that shows the website, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, probably. Okay. Okay. What do you need to take this course? Hardware and software requirements. We do use computers, so there are some requirements. Um, these are the things you must have. Okay, so a decent working computer with lots of available storage. If you have like 5 GB left on your computer, please get more than 5 GB left on your computer. You'll be very, very sad and depressed if your computer runs the program really slowly, because then it'll make animating and modeling just like a chore, and we don't want that, right? So if you have a decent working computer, please, it'll be very, very helpful with available storage. So we're talking about like within the ballpark of like 30 to 50 gigabytes. That should be more than enough. Preferably Windows or Mac, mostly because our facilitators, we primarily use Windows and Mac. And also just because Linux is very like, there's just too many variables going on. And if there's any issue that happens with Linux, we can't help you. So please try to stick to Windows or Mac. If you have a Chromebook, I'm sorry that you spent money on a Chromebook. Sorry. I don't think. But yeah, no, Chromebooks won't even run the software. So you need to be able to have a Windows system or a Mac system. Um, and also, if you don't have a computer, that's okay. We also provide computer lab space. So this lab right here, once you become a student, you get keycard access to this entire building and this room. So you'll be able to use these computers if you don't have your own personal device. Alternatively, there's also the STEP program offered by UC Berkeley, which is a student technology equity program where you can apply for a laptop. My laptop right there is actually from the STEP program, and I went through this course with one of the laptops they gave me. So very good if you have the opportunity to be able to apply for that if you don't have a laptop yourself. And these are some awesome to haves, but not required, but they're a nice like quality of life testament. First things first, a mouse. We do provide mice on request. We do have some mice. Not today because we didn't bring any. But in the class we do have mice on request. It's very, very highly recommended to use a mouse. Though if you don't like using mice, you can use a trackpad. We do have some past facilitators who have like only done trackpad, which in my opinion is a bit like heinous. Like what the hell are you using a trackpad? But yeah, I highly recommend a mouse. An external hard drive or a flash drive if you ever need to transfer files around, or if you just don't have enough storage on your main computer, having an external drive would be very, very helpful. A drawing tablet is also very helpful if you like doing the 2D stuff, like the pre-production for modeling, but this is very it's very, very not necessary. But if you have it, It's nice. If you don't have it, no big deal. Fancy graphics cards. So if you have like a really, really beefy gaming computer, will probably be helpful. But you don't need it. It's like a nice to have, right? So these are all like the nice to haves. And these are the requirements, aka you need a working computer and you need a good amount of storage. So yeah, if you need accommodations, if you can't like meet these requirements, come talk to us facilitators. We'll try to work something out. That type of thing. Any questions? Yes.
So if we like have a hard drive and we just connect it to our computer and like reanimate, would it be fine?
Yeah, it should be fine. I think you have to install the program on your main computer, but all like the files related to all their project and everything, you just keep it on the hard drive.
And like having a hard drive and won't like make your computer run slow or anything.
No, it shouldn't. Yep. Okay.
Alternatively, you can also just move internal files to the hard drive and then have everything on the same computer. But
Yeah.
it's kind of the same thing.
Basically, the hard drive is there if you actually like really don't have storage and you cannot delete anything. But best case scenario is to be able to free up like around 30 gigabytes of storage.
Just uninstall League of Legends, guys.
On your SSD.
Huh?
SSD, yeah.
On whatever storage you're using. Software requirements. Autodesk Maya 2024. This is, as mentioned before, this is free for students. Please have 2024 installed. If you go to the website, it will default to 2026, which is like next year. Like, what the hell? But it will default to 2026. So make sure you roll back a couple versions to go to 2024, because we find that 2024 is more stable, and that's where our support resources are for. So please have 2024 installed. And also Adobe Creative Cloud. If you are a Berkeley student, you get the entire Creative Cloud suite for free. So if you haven't applied for it, you can apply. It's just like search up literally UC Berkeley Creative Cloud, right? And then you fill out like form and bam, you get access to all of Adobe's products. The one that we primarily will be using is After Effects, which will be used at the end, of course. So yeah, Maya, Creative Cloud, those are the two requirements, both free for students, which is amazing. We love free programs. More about Maya. Some of you might be like, okay, why do we use Maya? You know, because some of you might be like coming from like a 3D background from Blender. So it's like, okay, why is this class in Maya and not in Blender? To answer some of those questions, the reason is because it is used in many, many Academy Award winning films. Nearly every single film that you've seen in anywhere is made using Maya. So if you want to go into industry, Maya is the industry standard. It is a massive program that covers almost all parts of the pipeline pretty well. Like it has every single thing that you need to make an entire animation from start to finish. It is industry standard. For rendering, the software is like embedded within Maya called Arnold. It's pretty good. If you're an advanced student, so if you're applying for the advanced section, you'll be using Pixar's RenderMan, which is a render engine developed specifically by Pixar. And it's also free for students, which is really, really nice. So you're like, okay, you're getting your foot into the industry and it's free and you're a student, that type of thing. So unfortunately, we do not use Blender, mostly because all our course materials are also in Maya, and we've had course materials and support for many years using Maya. So these are just the reasons that we don't use Blender. But that's not to say that your Blender knowledge isn't useful. It is, because a lot of those skills will transfer between 3D programs. You might just need to relearn some of the UI or like some of the controls and everything. But generally speaking, you'll be okay. So it's like it's not like, oh, okay, like I have to relearn completely how to do everything. No, that's not the case. But we do use Maya for the course, and we will not be using Blender. Does that make sense to everyone?
If I catch you guys using Blender, failing the class. I couldn't be.
All right. So this is the class structure. We'll start with the basic section here. What the? Huh?
Do.
I don't know. I clicked like a button. Okay, there we go. Class. Okay, there we go. Okay, UCBUGG basic. This is the homework syllabus breakdown. Homework over 40% of the grade. The reason why it's so high is because their homework basically teaches you how to do the 3D modeling. And if you're going to be making your group short together, we don't want you to drag down your teammates or anything, which is why like we want the homework to be weighted a bit more. Sort of like, okay, I don't want to like, I haven't done the homework, I don't know how to help you, and then you get further behind, because in this class, if you get behind, it sort of like compounds a lot. So try to like, keep on top of things there. Attendance were 10%, participation is 5%. You have a weekly team progress reports, just to keep track, that's 10%. We have a midterm, scary. But don't worry, it's not an exam. We don't like lock you in a room for 3 hours to like do it like an exam or something. But I mean, if you all want to do that, we might be able to think of something. But no, this is just like a check-in. It's like a, hey, are you on track? And then the midterm is also like a like group class critiques where like at the time of the midterm you'll have like some animated stuff and we'll like show it in class and everyone will give critiques and it's just like a check-in. And then the completion of your final short is 25%. We generally grade this just on completion, so we're not going to be like, this is low quality, you know. So as long as you put in some effort, full points type of thing. Because I mean, we are a decal. We're not like we want you to fail this class. Like you literally can't get an A even if you wanted to. It's a pass no pass course. So yeah, but it's basically you team up with a group of 4 to 5 people, create like around a 1 minute 3D short film to present it in our showcase. And we have a bunch of like free food at the end. And we also, it's a fun time. Yeah, so UCBUGG Basic requires no prior experience. So if you're like, I have never touched a 3D program in my life before, all good. That was me when I took the class, right? If you're like, I suck at drawing, all good. Also me when I take the class, right? Like you don't need to be good at a lot of things. We'll teach you, and you'll get better at it. Hello, Joyce. Would you like to introduce yourself? This is one of our other facilitators. Yeah, nice. Okay. Cool. So a bit elaboration on what the homework is. Homework is weekly and it is 40% of grade. So you have a new assignment every week. We will drop your lowest homework grade. Late assignments are graded half credit. It's like, oh, what half credit? Like I said, it's because we want to keep people on track. The homeworks generally aren't like that bad. They take you like what, like 2 hours maybe a week.
If you're taking longer than 2 hours, you should just ask for help. I know it's
Yeah.
scary to ask for help, but if you ask for help, it'll solve your problems a lot faster, and that way you don't spend 5 hours doing homework and use it only at most 2.
Yeah, we have like once you enroll in the class, we'll have like a Discord server with only the students and the facilitators, and there's like help channels and that type of thing, and you'll generally be able to like ask a question and get it responded to like within a couple within an hour or so usually, like at most times of the day, including most times at night. If you know what I mean. Huh?
2 hours a week or 2 hours a day?
A week.
A week.
Yeah, for the homework.
It's one homework
Yeah.
assignment a week.
It's one homework assignment a week. So it's generally not that bad. And if you need extensions, we have an extension form. You fill out this Google form, say, I need extension this assignment, automatic approval, no questions asked. Like we won't, like, we literally just like, okay, cool, this person extension. We don't even, you don't need to provide a reason or anything.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you need to provide a reason, but don't just be like, oh, because I want an extension just cause. Okay. If you have like, oh, I have like a bunch of midterms coming along or like have some like, like personal issues are happening, completely understandable. If you're like, oh, I have just so much homework from my other classes. Well, this is extension request form, automatic 1 week extension, and just gets approved, that type of thing. If you need additional accommodations on top of that, just reach out to us and we'll try to arrange something. We understand life happens. Also, this is a decal. We're not trying to fail you or anything. So, yeah. Any questions regarding the homework policy? Coolio. Okay. The team short is another big part of the grade. So we're 25% of the grade. So essentially, the way this works is that you will go and complete a single short within your assigned teams. So you'll be in a group of like 4 people, 4 to 5 people working together. So a lot of the focus of this class is learning not only just how to make a 3D short, but how do you work together to make a 3D short in this sort of like pipeline that you're able to like collaborate together. It's a really big focus of ours. Each team will have a designated facilitator. So be like, okay, there's too many facilitators. I don't know who to ask. Well, there's one person who will be assigned to your short, and you just like ask them, or you can ask anyone else. That's also okay. It's graded based on completion. And at the end, and at the midterm, and at like the final showcase, it'll be like a peer evaluation form. So that's where you can tell us like, oh, so and so didn't do any work and had to do all the work or that type of thing. Or it just gives us some like information to sort of like check in and be like, hey, maybe you're not satisfied with the group, or maybe things are just slow. If you want to like give any reasons or that type of thing, we have a peer evaluation form that we use to sort of like evaluate your credit on like the assignments and that type of thing. Any questions? Cool. Right. So that was the basic section. Let's talk about the advanced section. So this is the class structure for that. Same grading breakdown, exactly the same, except UC Bug Advanced requires experience. The experience here is that you must have taken basic or you have sufficient equivalent experience in all stages of the pipeline and you're able to provide a portfolio such that we can verify that information. Yeah. Because this basically assumes requisite knowledge of basic. We're trying something a bit new this semester because we've got some feedback over the years. So we're trying to like restructure advance a bit. This is the way it will work this semester. So it's the same homework, drop and extension policy is basic. However, after the third week, you'll decide whether to make a group short or make an individual short. So like an individual project, like a demo reel. Because some students have expressed in the past that they're not too interested in making like a group short, but they just want to like hone their skills into like one specific section of the pipeline. So we're trying to offer that option here. So week 1, 2, 3, you will have a weekly like tutorial style assignments. But then from 3 onwards, it will split up depending on which option you decide to do. So if you decide to do the group short, then you'll have bi-weekly open-ended assignments. So these assignments will be more like, hey, here's a picture of a building, model it, right? Or like here is a pic here's like here's like a lighting scene, right? Recreate the lighting, that type of thing. So it's a lot more open-ended. It's not going to be like you need to do this in step 1, step 2, step 3, that type of thing. It's a lot more open-ended. If you choose the individual product, it'll be weekly assignments instead. Um, yeah, and also some homework assignments are a lot harder than others, so ask help if you're stuck. For the final project, this is because there's 2 different options, that type of thing. So if you decide to do the group short, it's similar to basic, but it is at an accelerated pace. And we expect like a slightly higher bar of quality. It's more free form, so you can like do whatever you want, that type of thing. So we teach a bunch of more like advanced techniques and how to like, maybe to go in sculpting, that type of thing. It's on our website. But yeah, so like higher quality standards. And then the demo reel portion is that you pick a specific part of the pipeline that you're interested in. So if you really, really like modeling or if you really, really like rigging, then you basically create like a demo reel for that. So it's like a 2-minute demo reel of at least 3 to 4 different projects. And this will be like a really, really high standard quality, mostly because you're trying to like hone your skills into like one specific thing, right? So we expect that one thing that you choose to put all your focus on to be, pretty good. Yeah. Questions? Cool. All right. Other course policies. So this applies to both basic and advanced. Attendance. Attendance is required. It's mandatory attendance. And it is worth 10% of your final grade. We will have an excuse absence form where you can basically just say like, hey, I can't make it, that type of thing, and we'll give you 2 excuse absences. And also, if you have extenuating circumstances, let us know. We'll provide accommodations and we'll work with you. Class does start at Berkeley time, so 7:10 in this room. The midterm, as mentioned earlier, is a little checkpoint or like rough draft or short, that type of thing. We present our work in class. It's like a mini showcase and you give critiques and that type of thing. And then we'll evaluate you on the progress of your shorts, basically just make sure you're on track. And then you get really valuable critique that you can use to sort of improve your short. We offer office hours as well. So Mondays and Wednesdays, 5 to 7 p.m. So 2 hours right before class. So if you need to like do your homework last minute, we got you. Uh, but it's in person and online virtually. So highly recommend in person though. But we do have office hours if you guys need help or anything. In addition to like the Discord, just like posting a question at any time of the day. So as a summary, as a UCBUGG student, you're expected to attend weekly lectures. You're expected to finish your weekly homework assignments, develop your final short with your projects, and also, well, you don't have to, but it'd be really nice if you attend office hours. Attendance is highly encouraged. You'll learn a lot there. If there's anything you're ever interested in, or just want to hang out, if you want to hang out with us, that's cool too. Um,
Yeah, we're like the coolest people in Berkeley.
yeah, we're the coolest kids on the block. Yeah. If you guys are not freshmen, during college game day, we were animating instead of instead of enjoying college game day. So
Fun.
yeah, we were doing like a 24-hour animation challenge. Okay, auditing. So these are our auditing policies. Okay, can I audit? Yes, but there's a little bit of a caveat and a condition here. So what does auditing mean? Auditing means that you're not officially taking the class, you don't get units for it, but you do get access to our Discord. You get access to our live lectures so you can sit in class and that type of thing. You can come to office hours. You can get feedback. And so if you do any assignments, we can give you feedback on it. But we will prioritize helping officially registered students. This is the one restriction here is that you will not be assigned to a short film group. So if you want to work on a short film in a group, you need to be enrolled in the class. If you are auditing, we cannot provide you with a resource to actually do that. Yeah, because if you want to be in a group, we need like a full commitment to the decal. And we tend to find the auditors are kind of like a bit more wishy-washy about their commitment, and we don't want to like harm actual like individual students who are enrolled in the class who want to like make a short, that type of thing. You can still do independent projects though, and you can if you want like feedback on the projects, 100% go for it. And also we can't give you units because we can only give you units if you're enrolled, of course. If you would like to audit, instead of filling out the application form, please email us. This email is wrong, but you can like DM us on Discord or something, or you can just like
I'll fix the email. We'll send out the slides later. And if you need the email again, you could it'll be correct.
yeah. So that's our auditing policy. Okay, logistics. We communicate primarily through Discord. So after enrolling, you'll be getting a special invite to join the UCBUGG Discord. This QR code links to the 3DMA Discord, which is like the club. We have a club called 3D Modeling Animation. So the club is like a separate thing, but we do host like announcements of like when the application process is and the results when the results are released. All those announcements will be posted here. So for now, just join this and you'll get like information on the decal up until the decal starts. And then if you get in through the application, then we'll send out a link, like a special link to y'all, and you can join like the UCBUGG Fall 25 Discord server. We also have a website. This is public to view. So if I open this up real quick, UCBUGG.com. This is our website. So here you can sort of like, there's our email here, our Discord, which links to the 3DMA Discord, and our YouTube channel. So if you want to see all the different past shorts, it's over there. There's a little fox here that you can click and sort of like drag around and that type of thing. Very, very cool. Once you take the class, you actually get some secret hidden knowledge, and you could be like, whoa, like, oh, what are the hotkeys to do this? You can make it like a really fat fox or something. A little bit of trivia. This fox is actually my homework assignment when I took basic. So this is my exact fox that I made. But yeah, there's like a little like, blah blah blah, some stuff. If you don't know where Soda 330 is,
I don't know how you got here.
I don't know how you got here, but if you forget, you can click on this and this will open up Google Maps. And if you need help finding the location, you can view our syllabus here, which has everything, and also sort of like a breakdown of like a week by week, that type of thing. View like all our facilitators here, that type of thing. There's like a labs page, and this is where you'll be doing your homework. So if you click on one of these, here's some of the homeworks, and you just like these are where the homeworks are. So yep, that's the websites, publicly available. Any questions? I'm gonna make this full screen.
F11.
Where's the F11? Eric got it. Cool. Any questions? Yeah.
Because in the application, like, what are you most looking for in the written responses to like ensure a chance of getting in?
Yeah.
Talk about that later.
We'll talk about that once we
At
get
the
to
end.
the at the end, which is soon.
Thank you for the question.
Yes. Is UCBUGG for you? Yes. That's why you're here. That's why I'm giving this presentation. If this all sounds interesting and fun for you. We don't want you to do something that you don't enjoy. So if this is interesting, if this is fun, if you like this type of thing, 100%. I think UC Bug is one of the more fulfilling decals on campus. I'm not biased, definitely not biased. But it is very, very fun and it's very, very cool. You meet a lot of really cool people, you learn a lot of really cool skills, and overall it's just a really great time. So yeah, cool. Okay, so application, also known as homework zero. What? I'm doing homework even though I'm not in the class? Yes. This is your application. So this is what the basic application is going to be. We'll talk about the advanced application right after this. So, this is called the robot lab. So you'll be modeling your own robot using Maya 2024. You're like, what the hell? I don't even know how to use Maya. Don't worry, we'll have a demo right after this teaching you the basics and how to use Maya. And we'll teach you everything you need to know to do the application. It'll be cool. You'll do like a little robot. The reason we do this is just to make sure you have effort put in and you don't just like, I just want to take this class so I can get 3 units, right? So it's that type of thing. You don't grade it that harshly. It's just like put in effort, you're good. So please include your robot Maya file and your application. These are the deadlines. So if you want to apply for the Monday class, please submit your application by Saturday, September 6th at 11:59 p.m. If you want to apply for Wednesday's class, please submit your application by Monday, September 8th, 11:59 p.m. We will not be accepting late applications. So please keep these dates in mind. And then you'll figure out like when you will get into the class the next day. So if you're applying for Monday's class, you'll find out on Sunday. And if you're applying for Wednesday's class, you'll find out on Tuesday. So here are some examples of some good robots. Yeah, these are some pretty good robots out here. I think this one was made by
that was mine.
by Francis over here when he took the class. I think personally, I think these are like actually pretty good. You do not need to be at this level of quality. But put some effort in, that type of thing. And here's some amazing robot examples. Like 100%, we do not expect you to make these robots, but these are like kind of really cool, right? Like, I think I really like this one. This one's super cute. And then I love the little like Gyarados as well. It's like a robot Gyarados and everything. I will say though, oh, here's some not some good robot examples. So as long as you just don't do this, okay? Like this is literally a sphere and a cube. Okay, these are real robots, by the way, that were submitted. Okay, so we didn't just make this specifically as an example. Like these are real submissions that have been submitted in the past. Just don't like it. It's a sphere and a cube, and this is just a bunch of cubes. Like it's try to be a bit more creative, right? Like use different shapes, right? Like add a triangle on the head, or like some triangle, or like a sphere or something, right? Use different shapes. Try to express your creativity because I mean, at the end of the day this is like an art related class, right? We want you to be creative. We want you to express your creativity. And in addition to that, it's like, oh, whoops. In addition to that, it's like, try to make something original. Don't like find a robot you find online and copy it. We want this to be creative, a creative experience. So please come up with an original, creative robots. Doesn't need to be this good. Can be something like this. Can just be a bunch of simple shapes. Like, look at this. This is a cone. This is the default, like, torus, some default cones and just add it together, right? They combine together and it looks pretty cool. Yeah. Just don't do this. All right. Generally speaking, we do not grade very harshly. If you just show that you have effort, show that you want to be in the class, show that you're interested in this type of thing, we accept like 99% of efforts.
We also do ask if you guys like try to create your own robots. I know sometimes it's kind of like appealing to like, there's a film you like maybe like Big Hero 6, you want to model Baymax or something, or Eva from like Wally. Please try to avoid doing that. Because I know like it's okay to use it as reference. You can use it for reference, it's fine. But don't try to create like a one-to-one like creation of it. Just because you want you guys to use your own creativity. That's why you guys are in this class too. Want to create things. And I think it's just good practice and experience to, broaden your horizon and try things out on your own. So please don't try to like one-to-one copy robots that you see on books.
Yes, don't make Baymax. If I see a Baymax, I will be very disappointed. It's one of you. It's one of you. what he said, basically. Okay. For advanced, this is what your application is going to be. So for advanced section, you need to come up with two story ideas. So two pitches. And then you need to storyboard at least one of those ideas. The storyboard needs to be at least 6 frames long, with a beginning, middle, and ends. Not required, but highly, highly encouraged, just so you can get the ball running once you actually get in the course. Character sheets and slash or mood boards. Be amazing. Same deadlines as the basic section. Additionally, UCBUGG advanced students must submit a portfolio to show that they have proficiency in all parts of the pipeline. So if you've already taken basic, your basic short is your portfolio. Just link your basic short, and then talk about like, oh, what did you work on your basic short, right? So like I did the rigging, I did the modeling for this object, that type of thing, right? And then you could just like put everything in a Google Drive. So if you have like multiple articles or like stuff that you want to show, put in Google Drive, go through everything, and we'll look at your portfolio that way. Any questions? This is the QR code to the application. We will also be releasing this QR code later, and we'll also email it to you as well. So you don't have to do it now, but if you want to save it now, by all means.
Announcements, and whoever filled out the interest form, you will be emailed with everything. All the
Yes.
information.
Yes. Any questions? Yes.
Make it on Wednesday, can I attend the talk on Monday?
What was that? Like,
If, there's a week, like I have a meals due.
if you have to miss like one class, that's totally okay. You can go to the Wednesday section just for the lecture. But it's just like your group will be on Wednesday, right? So you won't be able to meet up with your group in person is like the only downside to that. But yes, you can go to the Monday lecture. If there's space, but probably will be space. But just fill out the excuse absence score saying I can't come to class, like my official class that day.
Yeah. If you're asking like, can I like balance between Monday and Wednesday? No. No. But if it's like a one-off thing.
One-time thing, it's okay. Just one-time thing is fine.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes.
We talked about like the written questions in the application now.
Oh yeah, the written question. Yeah. Just show enthusiasm. The same thing with the robot. Just just show enthusiasm. Don't use ChatGPT. We have graded stuff. It's like this is very, very clearly ChatGPT. Don't use ChatGPT. Some of you might be like international students, right? So like we understand you've had international students in the past before. Just try your best, show effort, show that you're interested and you're excited.
Yeah, we're not checking for grammar. It's not an English essay or anything. It's just a why do you want to take the class? What are you excited about? If you're really looking for like a hard, like, oh, how many sentences do I need? Like maybe 4 to 6 sentences, like write a paragraph, you know? I know maybe some of us haven't written a paragraph since high school. But like just write a paragraph. It's, express what you're interested in learning. Again, don't use ChatGPT. If you just write one sentence saying, I think it's cool, like that's like minus 20 points already on your application, man.
Yeah. Does that answer your question or?
Yeah. I
Any
have a
other
lot of things I
que-
want to say.
Oh.
So, like on the application.
Okay.
So I will just condense it.
Yeah.
There's no word limit, so feel free to write it down.
Yeah. So I'd prefer if you don't give us like a novel.
It'd be cool.
Any other questions? Cool. Okay.
I'm gonna ask what my chances are. Like, what are the chances of
Almost 100%. So as long as you don't make
as long as we don't see this, then you
There's
should.
a lot of people here, right? It's like
Huh?
how much space you
we have 30 spaces.
Look,
We have 30.
all of you fit in this room. You're good. Our space is the number of people that can fit in this room, which there's still a bunch of empty seats. So you're good.
There's also people on Zoom though.
Oh yeah, yeah, and the people on Zoom. It's like
If
30, 40
I don't
people.
think we've ever had more than 30 people apply. So if that becomes the record and we get
Within the
30
past
people-
5 to 6 years, we have never had an instance such that we had to reject someone because of overcapacity. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Yes.
On the application it says which section are you applying for?
Yes. So either the Monday section or the Wednesday section. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Oh,
Go for
yeah.
it. Go first.
You can go first.
Oh, is one of them better than the other? That's all.
No, it's just like we give more flexibility. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, if they can't make it on Monday, come on Wednesday. That thing. Yeah.
I haven't figured out my end home. Is it okay to do it there because I have one more thing that I want to open.
Oh yeah, if you like don't want to do it here, perfectly fine. Like you don't have to do it here. It's just all the facilitators are here, so if you need help, we're here.
Yeah. And we also like go over general key bindings. We're about to go over like how to use the general Maya.
Yeah.
So because you have to create a robot, and if you've never touched the program before, learning the general key binds is pretty useful.
Yeah. So, but generally speaking, if you want to just do elsewhere, if like you can. Yes.
Mine just blunder.
It's highly recommended that you take basic first. We had a past facilitator who took advanced without taking basic because he had Blender experience, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I just should have taken basic." Unless you are extremely proficient in every single part of the pipeline. So from like you've made an anime short from scratch before, and also have worked in a team like setting such that you can like learn how to share files and that type of thing. But generally speaking, we would highly recommend taking basic first. Yeah.
I also recommend basic because in my opinion, basic's more fun than advanced. That's my opinion though.
All right. Questions? Cool. Okay. We'll move on to the demo. So please install My 2024. If you don't have it installed, raise your hand. A facilitator will come to help you. If you do have it installed, you can follow along if you want. If you don't want to follow along, that's also okay. But we will post a modeling cheat sheet on Discord as well. So if you forget any keybinds, that'll be okay. And also this is recorded. So yeah. Yeah. Wait, Francis, aren't you doing the demo? I'm doing the demo now? Okay. Hello, everyone. I will be your host for today.
I know you. It says 20 videos made. I know.
Okay, so when you open up, wait, how do I share the screen? There we go. Okay. So, when you open up Maya, this will happen. I guess I'll turn on all the lights.
Turning on the lights can make pretty video that number.
Okay, so when you open Maya, you'll be greeted with this screen. You just want to go and click new, and this will open up this very scary window. There's a bunch of buttons everywhere. Actually, maybe it is. Let me turn it off once. Okay. So this space right here, like this space, is called the viewports. So what you can do is if you are on Windows, if you hold Alt and left click drag, you can pan around and rotate like this. Yeah. So this is how you rotate. If you're on Mac, it is, I believe, it is Option left click. Like hold Option and then left click, and then you should be able to rotate. If you are on Mac and you don't have a mouse, you can go to Windows, Settings and Preferences, and then here it only appears if you have a mouse, but there should be like a button called 2-button mode, which allows you to navigate with only 2 buttons on the trackpad instead of using like your middle mouse button or whatever. But yeah. Okay. So this is to rotate. So Alt, left click, drag. If you want to pan, so pan around, it is Alt, middle click, hold, and this is panning. So via rotating and panning, you're able to sort of like navigate around your scene. Let's go and create an object here. So on the upper left-hand corner, you can view your primitives. So this right here is a polygon cube. It looks like a cube. If I click it, a cube will appear. Also, if you can use the mouse wheel, you can zoom as well. But yeah, so this is the polygon cube. And you create this, and then the cube will appear. So how do we actually go and manipulate this cube and sort of like move it around the type of thing, right? So the four keybinds here are Q, W, E, and R. So Q is select, which is the mode that I'm currently in. I'm in select mode, and I'm able to sort of select objects. So if I click on the object, I will have it selected. If I click out of the object, I will deselect the object. If I click W, this this menu appears, and I'm able to translate the object. So I'm able to sort of like drag one of these arrows and drag it around, drag one of these arrows, drag it around. If I want to drag it in 2 dimensions, I can click the square and I can drag it around, right? So this is translate. So translate is W. If you forget what the hotkeys are, you can just click these buttons. So this is a select tool. This is the translate tool. So you can just like click these on the side if you forget them, but it's also Q, W, E, R. They're like right next to each other, that type of thing. If you click E, E is rotate. So this allows you to rotate it on any specific axis like this. And you can go and click in the center, sort of like rotate everything around like this as well. So this is how you rotate an object. If I want to scale an object, so I want to make it bigger or smaller, I can click R. And this menu will appear, and I can sort of like drag things around. So like this will like scale in this axis, or this will scale in this axis. If I want to scale the entire object, I can drag it in the middle, like left click drag in the middle, and the entire object will scale up and down. If I want to scale it in 2 dimensions, I can click one of these squares like this. Okay, and if you ever want to undo, Control Z.
Or Command Z if you're on
Or Command Z if you're on a Mac. Any questions? It's just scrolling. So whatever like the scroll operation is, yeah. If you ever find yourself like, let's say I'm like rotating around, so Alt left click rotating around and Alt middle click to drag around, and I'm like super far away like this, and I don't know how to like navigate back to the center. If you select an object and you click F for focus, you will automatically focus on the object. Very, very helpful. If you're like just navigating around a bunch of scenes, you can go and click that to focus. F for focus. Yes. So select an object, click F, and you'll focus on it. Okay. So, okay, how do I actually make this a more interesting shape? What you can do is if you hold right click, this menu will appear. And there are a bunch of different modes that you can be in. The mode that we are in right now is called object mode. So if I just like move my mouse over here and then release, then I will be in object mode. So I select the entire object. If I can go to edge mode, which means I can select only edges. So you can see here now I'm selecting the edges of the object, right? And I can manipulate them. If I use the same hotkeys as I had before, so W for translate, I can move this up and down like this, right? I can scale these. Wait, no, I can't scale edges. But yeah, you can like move the edges around like that. If you hold right click, you can go to vertex mode and you can select any additional vertex. So there are specific vertices that you can sort of select and you can move those around, sort of get a more unique object. You can go to face mode and you can select the entire face. You can move the face around. You can you can rotate the face. You can scale the face, that type of thing. And these will just help you be able to like sort of navigate between the different, like be able to create more unique shapes. So hold right click, and there's a bunch of different like ones you go to. Object mode for selecting the entire object, edge mode for selecting edges, vertex mode for selecting vertices, and face mode for selecting faces. Does that make sense?
Face mode or vertex?
So vertex face mode does this. So don't do that. Yeah, so face mode selects faces, vertexes select vertexes. Ignore the other ones. Ignore UVs, ignore all the rest of this stuff. All you need now is just object, edge, vertex, and face. Right? So if I go back to object mode, I can go select this and delete it and create a new cube. Okay. Now this cube is kind of boring, right? It's like, okay, I want to do something a bit more exciting with the cube. How do I sort of like how do I sort of make it a bit more interesting? How do I manipulate more than just like 4 vertices on the top, right? If you create a new cube, you can go over, let me just reset this real quick. Okay, you can go over here to the attribute editor. Yeah.
UCBUGG.
I just deleted it and made a new one. Yeah, so I click this backspace, delete, create a new cube. Yeah. If I go over on the right hand side, there's something called an attribute editor. So if I'm on this attribute editor, this thing will appear right here. And if I go to polycube 1 over here like this, so I can basically like click on these bunch of tabs. Polycube 1 is the one you want to look at. Here I can sort of like adjust the scale here as well. But one important thing here is called increasing the subdivisions. So you can see here how there's a bunch of like it subdivides it. It creates a bunch of lines that sort of like segment the cube, right? So I'll just do 444 for now, and you'll see how this cube has a bunch of edges that are being created on this cube. So if I go into face mode, so right click face mode, and I select a face, I can now select a smaller face on it and drag it up, right? So this is how you can go and sort of get a more unique shape, right? So I can select multiple faces, drag those out, and maybe can create a more unique shape like that. Cool. Any questions regarding that?
So the building closes.
Yes.
Is the door 6:30? Technically, if you're in terms of. So
Yeah, can someone help her?
I've stayed in here.
Travis, can you just help with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that, okay? Okay, but sometimes like it gets a bit wonky if I've already like manipulated the cube and then I'm like dragging these sliders, it gets a bit buggy. So what you could do is something called insert edge loop. So let's say I have an empty cube right here. How do I get rid of these meeting controls on Zoom?
There's a button to remove it. I think it's in more.
hide floating meeting. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
What I can do is if I go to mesh tools, I can click this, and this is called the insert edge loop tool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and click this sort of like square on the right hand side of it, and then this pop-up window will pop up. And these are the settings for the tool. You know you have the tool selected because on the left hand side here, this is your currently selected tool. So if I like accidentally close this, I can double click the currently selected tool and this window will appear again. So I think by default, it is relative distance from edge, which means if I have this tool selected, I can click on an edge and I can create an edge loop. So I can create edges where I want them to be created, right? So here, like I can create these, and now if I go back into face mode, or I can go back to the select tool, and then I go into face mode. Now I can have more control on where I want those subdivisions to be. I'm going to undo this a bit here and show you some other things in the tool. So if you forget where to go, it is mesh tools, insert edge loop, and then this box on the right hand side is called the option box. So these are the settings for the tool. If you want to create multiple edge loops, right? Like let's say I want to create 4 of them. Bam, right there. Now 4 are created, right? Or if I wanted to create like 50 of them, I can create like 50 edge loops right there. Yeah, so this is how you create edge loops. And basically through the use of edge loops and manipulating vertices, you can create a lot of things, right? Any questions?
Ref? Whenever you need.
Just left click. Yeah, have the tool selected and then left click. Okay, yes.
Is there any way to like change the orientation?
Orientation. So if I just select a different edge, like on the side, it creates an edge perpendicular to the edge that you created. Okay. The next last important thing is called extrusion. So if I go into face mode and I click and make sure I have the select tool selected. So I go into face mode. I can select a face. If I click Control E on Mac, it is Command E. I will create an extrusion. And yes. Yeah, I just like undid everything. Yeah. I can select the face and I can create an extrusion. So if I do Control E, or Command E on Mac, it'll look like nothing happened. But essentially what happened is it created a duplicate face on top of the current face. So now if I drag it up, you can see how like it sort of like took this face and it pushed it out, right? So for example, let's say I select this face, Control E, and then I can drag this face out and I can extrude it out like this, right? So I can Control E, extrude it out, and it'll pull the face out. What you can do then is if you say create an extrusion, you can go into the scale tool and then you can scale this face down. And now you've created an inset. And so if you extrude again, you can pull this out and look, now you have a more interesting shape. Now you're able to extrude, scale things in, extrude again, and you're able to sort of like pull faces out of other faces, right? The extrude tool is very, very helpful and a lot, you can make so many different shapes with just extrusions, rotations, and then vertex mode, vertex manipulations, that type of thing, right? Yeah. Yes. Click Q, you might be in a different tool. So on the left-hand side here, like here is like the current tool that's selected on the side. Make sure you have like the select tool selected. If like, say I'm in the insert edge loop tool, it'll have like this highlight and this will be like, oh, this is the insert edge loop tool. And if I try to go into face mode, it just won't work because I'm in a different tool. Yeah. So make sure you go back to select. So Q is select, W is translate, E is rotate, and R is scale. If you forget what they are, just click the buttons and then like the stuff will pop up and then maybe you'll be like, oh, what does this do? Oh, it translates it, right? Or you can just click these buttons on the side. So select, translate, rotate, scale.
Smaller version.
Yeah, so what I can do is I can select the face, I can click F, and now I've focused on the face. So F for focus. I can extrude and then instantly switch to the scale mode and scale it in. Because essentially what an extrusion is doing is that it is duplicating that face. So let's say I didn't extrude and I just scaled it to begin with, it will just scale the face, right? It'll make the face smaller. But the extrusion tool creates a duplicate face on top of it. I can scale that duplicate face and create an inset. And if I just pull this up without extruding again, it looks like this, right? But if I extrude again, then I'll create a duplicate face and then I can move that face. So there are two faces like right on top of each other, essentially is how it works. Does that make sense to everyone? Okay. Now there's something else I'm gonna tell you about. Mostly because this is very common and I don't want you to be scared if you accidentally do this. But if you click spacebar, this happens. And this basically just allows you to view your object from a bunch of different angles. So this is the top view. So if I put my mouse over a panel and I click spacebar again, I will snap to this view. So this is the orthographic top view. There is the orthographic side and front views like this. If this accidentally happens to you, just know it's the spacebar. You can go back to perspective. And it's just like, I'm going to like uninstall Maya because I don't know what the hell just happened, right? This was Francis when he was in the info session when he took the class. He clicked this button and he got really scared. Which honestly, fair. But yeah, you can do a lot of things like this. So if I want to create more objects, I can go and like, let's say I want to create a torus. I can move the torus around. I can scale the torus. I can flatten it so it's like a donut or something, right? I can I can make like a triangle. I can make this a really tall triangle and sort of move these around. Yes. Or
Get out of the space.
it's like space bar. Yes. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? Before like I model like an Among Us or something. Nope. Oh, also, I guess this is kind of cool. If you click the 3 button, it like rounds out all the edges. And if you click 1, it undoes it. So like you can switch between smooth mode and hard mode. So like let's say I'm modeling a more organic shape. If I go in 3, sorry, this looks a bit uncomfortable, but like yeah, it like rounds everything out. Okay, so I guess with that out of the way,
You can extrude it again.
I will make an Among Us. So here, let's create a default cube. And then what we could do is let's give this a couple more subdivisions. just so we have more geometry to work with. Make this a bit bigger so I can see it a bit better. And then let's just start here. So what does Among Us look like? It's like a kind of like a roundish, like oblong rectangle. So I can select these faces, I can extrude them upwards, right? Maybe I can select these faces right here. I can sort of like extrude, pull these out, maybe scale them back in so it creates a more like rounded shape here. Um, I could do this again with a bit like smaller, right? Create like a more rounded shape here. Um, Over here, maybe I can go to vertex mode. I can sort of take these vertices. So if I hold shift, I can select multiple things at once, right? I can sort of like um I can sort of like pull these down, maybe round out the shape a bit more on the edges here. Like this. Maybe down here as well, I'll sort of like round these out to give it a more organic shape. I know in Among Us, there's like a backpack or something. So maybe I'll like take these out first. Maybe I'll scale these to sort of like push these out to like round it out. The backpack, maybe I want this as a separate object so I can create another cube. I can move this cube over here. Um, I can scale, sort of like move things around like this. Good enough, like a backpack. All right. Woo. And then there's like legs. So I can select this object, just oh, whoops. Go to object mode, select these objects, move them up just so I can see a bit better. Click F to focus. Um, and then down here, I'm like, okay, well, I want the legs, but there's only like one face down here, right? And if I just move, if I extrude this face, like, damn, the legs are like connected. I need to like split it in the middle, right? So in order to split it in the middle, I need like an edge to like create a delimitation to like separate it, right? So if I go to the edit mesh tools, insert edge loop, I can create an edge loop right here. And then this will just create an edge loop in the middle right there. This gives me more geometry to work with. So I can select these faces. I can extrude this one out like this. I can extrude this one out like this. That way they're not connected. And then maybe I'll just move them off to the side like this. Cool. I mean, it looks vaguely Among Us-like. Maybe I'll take these faces over here like this, or just these ones. I'll extrude these, scale them in this. Yes, you can mirror. So, let me just undo a bit here. What you can do is there's a symmetry mode. So if you click this, you can do symmetry in the object X, which allows you to like symmetrize across an object. If you already have an asymmetrical object, it might not work. Like this is pretty symmetrical, so it works fine. But if it's asymmetrical, it might not select the other thing on the other side. Yeah, but generally you can just have symmetry mode on like that. There are also other ways you can like mirror, but I won't get into it because it gets a bit more complicated. But if you're curious, you can go and ask one of the facilitators. Um, but yeah, I can, I guess, turn this on. There you go. Maybe I'll take this edge, sort of like go down. Oh, by the way, if any of you guys need to go, the info session is technically over now. Like we're just here until 9 p.m. to sort of like help you out with your application, that type of thing. So if you guys need to go, feel free. You guys can leave.
I don't think we have access to these computers right now.
Oh, these computers right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a bit to get the codes and stuff.
Yeah. Thing is, one of the students, they don't have storage on their current computer,
Uh-huh.
and they're asking if they use the computers.
Like any storage at all?
At the moment, no,
Oh,
they can't install mine already.
well, that's not good.
We have like a external.
They have an external hard drive, but it's not working because they need to install, you have to install mine on the base computer
Mhm.
before you can install it. Before, I don't think you can install it to the.
Yeah.
Can you? You want friends?
No, this looks kind of robot-like, you know?
That doesn't even look like Among Us.
Sorry, I got excited and I started like doing a bunch of other things. It does look like a mech. Here, maybe I'll like get one of these, right? And I'll give it like an antenna or something. It is due at the same time of the application. So if you're applying for Monday section, it is due on Saturday. If you're applying for the Wednesday section, it is due on Monday.
11:59 p.m. Not any obscure time like 9 a.m. or anything.
If you want to duplicate something, you can do Control D, which is D for duplicate, and then you can sort of just like duplicate things, which would be helpful if you have a lot of objects. Yeah. Cool. Yep. This is a cute little robotish thing. It looks kind of creepy. Yeah, there's that. So I'm just gonna leave this here. I guess I'll close the Zoom now.
Yeah.
Okay, bye bye Zoom. Bye bye.
Pause the recording.
Wait, how do I do that?
Like top.
What?
There's meeting control.
How?
There's a control shift.